If you are a football fan or a football lover, you definitely know who Andres Escobar is, and I believe you must have heard the story surrounding his death. Millions of people believe that Andres Escobar was shot for scoring an own goal that knocked Colombia out in the FIFA 1994 World Cup. But was that really the whole truth? To understand the full story, we have to go back to a time in Colombia when football, drug cartels, and millions of dollars came together. By the end of this story, you will understand why Andres Escobar's death remains one of the darkest in football history. It was in 1994. The FIFA World Cup was held in the USA, just like the present FIFA World Cup. And one of the teams everyone was talking about was Colombia. Just few months earlier, Colombia shocked the entire football world by defeating Argentina 5-0 in Buenos Aires during the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Argentina had one of the best teams in the world, and defeating them 5-0 in their home ground was almost unbelievable. But Colombia did it. So it's only logical for everyone to believe that Colombia would definitely win the FIFA World Cup. Football experts predicted that Colombia will go far in the tournament, or better still, become the champions and bring back home the cup. Back home in Colombia, excitement was everywhere. People decorated their homes with Colombian flags. The streets were full of celebration, and every match was expected to bring the nation a step closer to making history. But behind all that expectation and hope was a much darker story. During the 1980s and early 90s, Colombia was struggling with violence caused by powerful drug cartels. These criminal groups had made billions of dollars through illegal businesses, investing money in clubs and placing huge illegal bets on matches. Some of them also became involved in football. For many people, football was just a game. But for these criminals, it wasn't. It was money and business. If the wrong team lost, millions of dollars could disappear overnight. But if the right team wins, business is good and money is made. Bearing this in mind, you could imagine the pressure on Colombia's players. And one of those players was Andres Escobar. Let me tell you why. Escobar was 27 years old and played as a defender in the Colombian team. He was said to be a calm, humble, and respectful man, and because of this, his team respected him and his fans admired him. No one imagined that within few weeks, the whole world would know his name for a heartbreaking reason. So Colombia lost their opening match against Romania 3-1. The defeat shocked the whole country. They never saw it coming. So their next match against the US became a must-win game for the Colombians. If they lost again, their dream of becoming the World Cup champions will be over. On June 22nd, 1994, Colombia walked into the field knowing everything was at stake. The game began with both teams attacking. Then, during the 35 minutes of the game, US sent a dangerous cross into Colombia's penalty area. As a defender, Escobar reacted instantly. His job was to stop the ball before it reached the American striker. But when he stretched out his leg to clear the ball away, something went terribly wrong. He accidentally redirected the ball into his own goal. For a few seconds, nobody could believe what has just happened. The American fans exploded with joy, while the Colombian players stood frozen. Escobar slowly lowered his head. He knew it was his touch that had sent the ball into his own net. It was an own goal. Colombia fought hard to come back, but it wasn't enough. The US won the match 2-1. With that defeat, Colombia was knocked out of the World Cup tournament. Back home in Colombia, millions of fans were devastated. Newspapers replayed the own goal again and again. Television stations talked about the mistake for days. Millions of people unfairly blamed Andres Escobar for the Colombians' elimination. Escobar took all the criticism and even wrote a heartfelt letter to the people of Colombia, reminding them that football is a game and mistakes are bound to happen. He ended his message with this powerful sentence: "Life doesn't end here. Sadly, his did. The World Cup was finally over and Escobar returned back home to Colombia. People thought he would stay away from public places because of criticism, but Andres Escobar was not that kind of person. He accepted his mistake and looked forward to the future. European teams even wanted to sign him, but on the night of 2nd July 1994, Andres Escobar got into an argument with some group of men outside a nightclub. One of the men pulled out a gun and shot him several times. He was rushed to the hospital. Doctors tried to save him, but he died shortly afterwards. Andres Escobar was only 27 years old. Millions of people believe Andres Escobar was shot because of his own goal that knocked Colombia out of the World Cup tournament. But investigators revealed that the men who shot him had connections with organized crime in Colombia. More than 120,000 people attended his funeral. Andres Escobar's painful story is a reminder that no football match is ever worth a human life. If you like stories like this, follow my page for more.